So I went back, and it's like you pause, and when I go back, let's say I finished from that lyrics, so I came back with the next lyrics. And they loved me. The whole night I was playing, they loved me. And I was hired, and I created more enemies. Remember the first one of the house? Now, this is a band. It was 7 members of a band, so now I have 8 enemies. But I was hired, and that's how I started as a musician. And that's when I went away from my family too. I was very lonely. I was away from my family because now I'm in Olongapo. I cannot see my mother every time I want to because I have to drive back to Manila and it's so expensive. So I became homesick. So I was lonely that before I go home, I go out with Arlen, another folk singer, and we go to beer houses where there are go-go dancers, you know, sexy go-go dancers, and we get drunk, and when I'm drunk, I go home so I can sleep right away, so I don't feel the homesickness. Until one day I woke up one afternoon, and I was looking at my very small room. I think my room is a little bigger than this, and that, everything. It's like a rectangular small room. And I was looking at the corner and I see all the laundries. And then I was thinking that every time I need breakfast, I have to cook it myself. And I need lunch, I have to cook it myself, or I have to buy food outside. And I was thinking that at home I never cook my breakfast. At home I never cook my lunch. And at home I never do my laundry. But now I'm doing everything. So I was so homesick that I decided to turn on the television. And I had a black and white television, very small one. But I don't like the showing on the TV, so I turned it off. I turned on my cassette player, a mono cassette player with radio. And I don't like the songs on the radio, so I decided to put the blank cassette and try to write a song. But I could not write a song because I keep missing my family. I was thinking mostly my mother and my younger sister. So I was being homesick and trying to realize, how did I get here? How did I become this big? What did I do? How come I'm away with the people that I love? Then I realized that I was stubborn. I never followed my father. When my father said red, I go with black. When my father said yes, I would say no. So we fight, we fight, we fight. He wanted me to become a lawyer, I became a musician. He wanted me to go to church, I don't go to church. I always question the church ever since I was young. I keep telling my father, how come we have so many gods? And it says in commandment number 1, I am your only God, there should be no other. So I keep questioning that. So we fight through religion, we fight everything, we fight. We will fight what she sent me to the market. Freddie, buy this and buy that. I buy all the bad fish in the market, bad meat in the market, and bad vegetable. And then, why did you buy this? Don't send me to the market because I am not a market boy. So we fight again. So I realized that I miss them. Even if I have misunderstanding with my father, I love him very much. I love my mother so much, my sisters, my brother, my one brother. So why am I doing well? Why am I here in Olongapo, so far away from people I love? And I don't have any relatives in Olongapo. Only friends that I met in clubs, drinking, mostly drinking. So I realized that I was in my mother's womb. I was there for 9 months. She took care of me. I was born. She took care of me like a baby. She gives me milk. And the next thing you know, I was writing, "Numisilang ka sa mundong ito, laking tuwa ng magulang mo," and so on. And I wrote Anak with the guitar, with the cassette, mono cassette, for less than 1 hour. I wrote the lyrics and the music, and I played it back, and I was crying, and crying, and crying, and crying, and I wanted to tell my mother and father right there and then that I'm sorry, please forgive me. I didn't know what I was doing. I was very young. I thought what I was doing was cool, because when you are young, everything is cool. You do bad things, it's cool. You do good things, it's cool. Whatever you do, it's cool. So I realized at that time I was already 23 years old. So I'm an adult. I'm not already Freddie Aguilar, the 17, the 18, the 19-year-old. So I was 23. And I realized I made a big mistake. And I kept the song for myself. I never intended the song to be recorded. I never intended the song to be famous. I wrote it because I wanted to tell my mother, especially my father, how sorry I was. It was a song of a prodigal son repenting. So I wrote the song and I kept it myself until some Americans come to my house, or my room rather, my small room rather. And then I'm always proud of showing the Americans, hey, I have a new song again, so I will play it in my mono cassette. Oh, Freddie, this is a great song. You should play it in the club. I said, no, we are not allowed to play any Filipino song in the club. At that time, we were prohibited to sing any Filipinos, not only in Olongapo, but all over the Philippines. You are not allowed to sing. No matter what kind of a musician you are, no matter you are a celebrity or an unknown musician, no one is allowed to play Filipino music during the time. So I'm not allowed to. So, because the American servicemen are so insistent in me playing the song in the club where I'm playing, and that time I was playing at the Sixth Sense already. I moved from club to club. So at that time I was playing at Sixth Sense, but still the same in Magsaysay. So I told the American serviceman, okay, this is what we do. You request me to play the song. You write it down on a piece of paper, and you said, Freddie, please sing your original song now. And I said, but if I get fired, you have to support me until I get the next job. And they said, oh, we can do that, we can do that, we can support you, no problem. And they said, okay, let's do it. So that afternoon, we all went to the Sixth Sense. There's about 20 of them, American servicemen. 20 of them, we walk in there. My first set is 5:30 in the afternoon. I played 30 minutes. So on my first set, I played the American songs. And on the last song, I played Anak for the first time with an audience. And I played it. And the Americans, of course, they loved it, so they gave me an applause. And I left, I went off the stage. And the girl who's working there was crying. And the girl said, why are you singing my story? The girl said. I said, no, 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 that's not your story. That is my story. So please leave my story alone. She was crying. So at that time, I still don't understand why she was crying. Because I thought that song is me, and only me. So I walked into the bartender and asked for, what they call this, warm water. And the bartender was teasing me. Hey Freddie, whatever drugs you're taking, stop it, man. I said, why? I'm not taking any drugs. What are you singing? There are no songs that talk about milk and talk about mother and talk about father. I said, that's my song, man. Leave my song alone. You know? So I left with my water, and here comes the waiter again. I said, Freddie, boss wants to talk to you. And I said, oh, I'm in trouble. So I went to the office, and Boss Fred, his name, Boss Fred said, don't you know the rules in this house? I know, sir, but they requested me to sing the song. Don't bullshit me, Freddie. Who will request your song? I said, my American friends, sir. These are my followers. Come on. Tell the truth. You just want to sing it. That's why I said, no, sir. If you want, you can check the papers. It's written there. And you can ask them. They're still there. So I said, okay, don't do it again. Or else I'm going to fire you. I said, okay, just said, I'm sorry, sir. But every day the Americans are there. So I was singing it until he got tired of telling me, don't sing that song. And he himself said, hey, that's a nice song. I said, thank you, sir. So I love it only on the first set. And that's how I started singing Anak. But not yet recorded. I don't have plans to record it. It's only because some Americans love my songs. And then we did something so we can play. I can play it at the Sixth Sense Club in Olongapo. So the first time Anak was played, it was there.